My name is Richard. I run several companies and I am known as a successful entrepreneur. But honestly, I'm not that interested in that aspect of my life. Sure, I'm financially secure and live in a comfortable place, but as long as I can do my job, that's all that matters to me. I love my work so much that I think I'll probably stay single for life. People around me say that as a CEO, I should be able to take it easy, but I prefer to stay involved with the work at the ground level as much as possible. Sometimes I even wear work clothes and get to the site. They say you don't need to do all that, but for me, it's about having an interest and wanting to be involved.
Richard.
Hi, hey, Tyler, what's up?
Actually, this is my childhood friend, Tyler. I lost touch with my classmates, from my hometown when I moved to the city, so he's the only close friend I still have.
When I left my hometown, I declared I would become a businessman. But everyone laughed and said, "Such a dreamy idea." At that time, I decided there was no point in keeping in touch with people who didn't believe in me and left with the intention of leaving everything behind. Tyler was the only one who believed in me and supported me then.
I know you don't want to mingle with the hometown folks, but I've been asked to gather people for a singles mixer. We're one person short, and it's supposed to be only for people who work at major companies. There's no, I'm sorry, I couldn't say no. But you know, all the other people who moved from our hometown are married. Like, Mike, there's no one else to ask. Heck, just come for the first part. And you can leave early and you don't have to pay anything, please.
I don't mind about the fee. Promise me I can leave after the first part and that you won't talk about my work and then I'll go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Of course, I won't mention it. And I'll thank you later.
Actually, Jake was the last person I wanted to see from my hometown. He was the one who ridiculed me the most back then. Now, I am a successful entrepreneur as I declared back then and am happy at the work I love. But thinking about that time still irritates me.
Are you serious? I mean, that's ridiculous, maybe in our hometown. But do you have any idea how many people are in New York?
That's why I'm doing it, right? Listen, you don't understand, so let me tell you. New York is a place where people who are far beyond what we know exist.
Listen, I don't understand. So let me tell you. New York is a place where people who are far beyond what we can imagine are making it big. The best we country folks can do is to get a job in a big company and enjoy a stable career. The New York dreams to work for these extraordinary people and enjoy the sweet fruits of their success. I don't think so. I'll just laugh when I see you failing and crying in 10 years. Don't come crying to me for, help then. Acing, Sai, you're so stubborn, and I thinking more bad out. Yeah, tiny and like I also I just laugh when I sigh when I sit and see you failing and crying, and Tanya and Trenya don't come crying to me for help then.
Don't worry, that won't happen.
That was Jake for you, a person who held onto such a narrow-minded countryside mentality and for some reason vehemently denied my dreams. Now that I think about it, why did he try so hard to stop me? My future had nothing to do with him. I just don't understand people like that.
Hello, Richard.
Hey, Tyler, what's up? Is the mixer canceled?
No, unfortunately, it's still on. I just called to set the date. I'm sorry.
Can't be helped. When is it? I'll tell my secretary to keep the day free.
It's 2 weeks from now on Friday. What do you think?
Okay, I'll adjust my schedule so I can go straight there from my work outside.
Thank you so much, man. We should go out for a meal together sometime.
Tyler is humble and so kind that I used to worry if he could survive in the city, but he's been steadily climbing the corporate ladder at a big company and seems to enjoy his work, which makes me relieved. I heard that Jake has landed a job at a decent company, but he seems to be chasing girls by flaunting his money, and this mixer seems to be more of the same. Tyler knows about my relationship with Jake and didn't want to invite me, but Jake insisted on having someone successful to not embarrass himself. He wanted someone with high status, but not more flexible than himself, which put Tyler in a tough spot and led him to contact me. I may be a business owner and technically have a higher status than Jake, but I've kept my real profession hidden from him. And since I'm not interested in romance, Tyler probably thought I'd be an ideal candidate for this occasion. Easy choice for this, because if I'm the type of person who is enthusiastic about love, it will get in Jake's way. The reason I keep my profession secret from everyone except Tyler is due to a past incident. Actually, someone from my hometown found out about my job and started leeching off me. I would understood if they had asked for a job at my company, but they were asking for loans or permission to use my name. They clearly approached me with the intention of exploiting me, which was unsettling. Anyway, I have no intention of helping those who once said my success was absolutely impossible. I'm also involved in the construction business as part of my work. Sometimes I go to the site in work clothes to give instructions directly. Actually, I've seen people you may so quiet. I value building a solid relationship of trust by speaking directly with the site manager, Kevin. This approach ensures that we can support each other in times of need because of our mutual trust. I want to cherish human connections. So even when my subordinates tell me I don't need to go that far, I convince them that I'm doing it because I want to. My subordinates also continue my legacy, valuing the trust they build with clients and other employees, and I'm very proud of them. But perhaps that's why they tell me to slow down a bit, since we're all carrying on with the same intent. I don't want to trouble my subordinates, so I feel the need to get used to delegating more work to them this year. It's not that I don't trust them or that I can't relax without working. I just genuinely love my job and can't help but be involved. So it's impossible for me to just sit back and do nothing. So recently, I've been planning to start a new venture. It's still in the planning stages, but once it gets going, I'll be personally busier, which should help balance my role in the existing company. When this new venture starts, I can shift some of my current workload to my subordinates, easing my involvement. Working with different people outside gives me a lot of input, which is efficient. Without input, there can be no output. I love my job, but what I really enjoy is managing a business. It's not about making money, but about running a company. How to run a company efficiently. How to increase profits. How to handle the problems when they arise. What should be my approach? I like to assemble and execute these things like a game. That's why I am a businessman. Of course, to realize this, I need the strength of reliable employees. Yes, I'm the interfering president who meddles in personnel matters. I want to see and talk to the people who work under me myself. Staffing decisions can make or break a company, so the other employees understand and agree with my involvement in personnel matters. Then, I return to the office, still in my work clothes, and continue working. Although my secretary always asks me to at least change when I'm in the office, but I find it too bothersome and always ignore it. When I mentioned this to Kevin today, he laughed at me. Normally, company executives and wealthy people care about their appearance and wouldn't prefer to wear work clothes. But for me, it's a matter of efficiency, and I don't quite understand their viewpoint.
The boardroom and work clothes, you'll get complaints. Why I'd rather work during a time I'd spend changing.
Get that, but what if you have an unexpected visitor? Doesn't it look bad if the president's wearing work clothes? Everyone says that, but I just don't get it. Whether I'm in work clothes or not, it doesn't change the fact that I'm the president.
True, when you put it that way, yeah.
I don't understand why everyone's so fixated on appearances.
Well, there's a matter of etiquette. You have to maintain prostro is not to offend the other person.
Yeah, when you put it that way, I guess what Tyler says makes sense too.
Today, before the promised mixer, Tyler and I met up and had a meal together. We meet regularly, and today was part of that routine. But we ended up having a lively discussion about my work clothes. Issue. I'm not fond of people who are obsessed with appearances and status, so I didn't see anything wrong with wearing work clothes. However, Tyler's points made sense, so I decided to keep a few suits in my office to change into when necessary, the office for future use. This way, I can adhere to TPO even if there's an unexpected visitor. Tyler always guides me in the right direction without negating my stubbornness. He's a very comfortable friend to be around. Today we talked about Tyler's recent work situation and shared updates. Apparently, he's been worried about his job recently. Until last month, everything seemed smooth. But now he's starting to feel anxious that there might be no future for him at his current company. Since its specialty is important, from a business owner's perspective, I told Tyler that if he doesn't get along with his boss, there's no benefit in staying at that company, waiting for the next personnel change to either move to a different department or for the boss to transfer is inefficient. I believe that we create our own environment. Tyler really understood and said he would seriously consider changing jobs. On the day of the mixer, I'd been at a work site earlier, so I went straight to the meeting place in my work clothes. I don't usually get lost, but unusually, I did that day and had to call Tyler.
Hey, over here.
He was waiting for me in front of the restaurant.
Also, it's a bit hidden, haha. Really appreciate coming. I'll be leaving soon, though. It'll be leaving soon, though.
As we entered the restaurant, Jake was already sitting there. It had been a long time since I last saw him. I still had memories of the past and hadn't fully processed them, so my mood darkened.
Jake, remember me? It's Richard. He came all the way here, despite being busy today.
Come on, Tyler, give me a break.
You said to invite someone high spec, right? someone in work clothes is a bit much. Oh, this is a misunderstanding.
Oh, no, I was right all along.
A long time no see, Jake. Jake, seeing me in my work clothes, started ridiculing me without even greeting me. Tyler, panicking, tried to intervene, but Jake wasn't listening, so I stepped in.
Richard, you must be regretting not listening to me. Why would I? Don't act tough. I told you, right? Yo, country boy, like you becoming a businessman in New York is impossible. And as expected, you ended up failing and working as a laborer, right? Pathetic. See, Statcham, if you had listened to me and got a job like Tyler and me, you'd have a stable life at least.
No, I'm living a stable life.
Impossible for a laborer. Especially in this scorching summer working outside, you have a limit to physical work. Maybe you should consider a career change.
Thanks for the advice.
Acting tough again, and come on, wearing work clothes to a mixer, you won't get any girls.
I'm fine not being popular, just didn't want to bother changing.
Acting tough part 2, I feel sorry for you. Listen, Richard, get a stable job in a big company like me, and the girls will flock to you. It's sweet.
I'm not interested in that. I'm genuinely living a good and stable life.
What I'm talking about is beyond your definition of stability. You'd be shocked at the difference if you experienced it. I'll forget you didn't listen to me in the past. Want my advice? I can even ask my boss to hire you.
Come on, Jake. Richard is actually...
Ella, just be quiet for a bit. I'll teach Richard a life lesson.
It's okay, Tyler. I'm kind of interested in what Jake has to say.
Tyler was flustered as Jake got completely carried away. At this point, I was curious to see what kind of advice Jake would offer. If he had wisdom for greater success than mine, I wanted to hear it.
Okay, getting a bit humble. Alright, first step, don't hide being a country boy. Act humble and pure.
But I love their...
Because in New York, people with high pride are everywhere. If you openly show you're a country boy and pretend to be clueless, people will naturally take care of you. Easy, right? Usually, people will pay for you, so just enjoy the free ride. People will naturally take care of you. Easy, right? Usually these people will pay for you, so just enjoy the free ride.
Interesting.
His first piece of advice was quite cunning, and I was losing interest in hearing more. But to fully expose Jake's true nature, I decided to hear him out. Jake's first piece of advice was quite cunning, and I was losing interest in hearing more. But to fully expose Jake's true nature, I decided to hear him out.
Next step 2, use the money you save from these people to reward yourself.
Reward?
Yeah, barely spend any money on eating out. Others pay for it. Then I use the money I save from entertainment expenses. You follow in the conversation. The talk of a successful urbanite must be refreshing for you, huh?
Jake, wait a bit.
Tyler, it's fine. Listen, you might learn something. Richard, this next one is crucial. Listen up. Last step is use the extra money for playing around with women.
Playing around with women.
Jake finally started saying things that made no sense. Using shrewdly saved money for womanizing, it's endlessly tacky and deplorable. Depending on how you play, of course. Using shrewdly saved money for womanizing, it's endlessly tacky and deplorable. Depending on how you play, of course.
In mixers like this, don't be stingy and spend money. If women call you cheap, you lose as a man, right? Even if it means going into debt. Spend on women, use your credit card, use your card.
Edit cards, huh?
Success with it makes your payment look Smoother and kills two birds with one stone.
I couldn't help but chuckle. First of all, the mindset is incredibly provincial, and I can't understand the desire to womanize using borrowed money. The audacity to deceive people and make them spend their money is also cheap. What on earth is he bragging about?
Doesn't seem like you're getting it. Were you listening?
I was listening, but
Listening, but what?
I don't know. It just seems unnecessary for me.
What? Why are you being so arrogant? That's why you're still stuck in manual labor. Repeating your past mistakes, huh?
I haven't made any mistakes, and I'm not interested in womanizing.
Oh, looking at you just irritates me. You come to New York, live a miserable life, yet you act all high and mighty and don't even listen to others. What's with you?
I mean to come off as arrogant, but maybe it's just though we have different values, right? I'm enjoying my life. And Jake, you're happy too, aren't you?
You're so infuriating, like, of course I'm happy. I'm the most successful one here.
At least successful, huh? Uh-huh.
What are you laughing at? Stop it, okay.
Just as Jake was about to lose his temper and lunge at me, two women arrived. Jake instantly changed his demeanor and sat back down.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Jake. Let's have a fun night.
I'm Tyler. Thanks for coming. Our organizer Maria will be a bit late. So let's order some drinks. But first.
Hey girls, I'm sorry about this mess with the guy in work clothes joining us. I was surprised too because it's so different from what I was told. To apologize, I'll cover the girls' expenses tonight.
Hey Jake, let's drop it.
Tyler, it's okay, let him be.
Jake, oblivious to the girl's discomfort, continued to disparage me in front of everyone. Tyler tried to intervene, but I stopped him. But if there are girls who are swayed by a man who speaks ill of others so openly, they are well matched, and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, go ahead. It doesn't matter what a loser like you says.
Is that so?
Girls, are you listening? This guy here was my classmate back home when we moved to New York. He had this ridiculous dream, and I tried to show him reality, but he didn't listen to me at all. And look at him now. I've made a success of myself in New York, as you can see, and he's like this, still working in manual labor in his work clothes. It just proves I was right all along. I was just give him advice early.
Jake kept talking and embarrassing himself, while the girls looked down uncomfortably. Tyler was holding his head in his hands. I just stared blankly at Jake's face, waiting for time to pass. Jake was so caught up that he didn't notice the atmosphere.
So, I graciously taught him how to survive in New York, using my time and effort, right? Normally, you'd be grateful, right? Getting advice on how not to be miserable anymore is a rare opportunity. But he says he doesn't need my advice. So, what do you think? Such a super rude. Right? At least say thank you. Really, so disrespectful. Showing up here in more clothes, embarrassing.
Just ignore him, girls. I'm really sorry for inviting such a loser, and he's such a twisted character.
Tyler, it's fine.
The girls looked quite uncomfortable, saying they didn't mind. I knew this gathering would end after the first round. While this was happening, the food and drinks arrived, slightly easing the awkward atmosphere. While the girls and Jake were talking, Tyler turned to me.
Richard, I'm really sorry about this.
Don't worry about it, but maybe you should stop letting him use you.
See, I've always been bad at saying no. and just went along with things. But I've made up my mind today. I'm done associating with him.
You don't have to do that for me. Only if it's really bothering you.
This is bothering me. I don't have, nor do I have the same values as Jake.
We quietly enjoyed our meal while disparaging Jake's character. Throughout, Jake kept loudly boasting about his success in both his company and society, which was painful to watch. I didn't know the extent of Jake's success, but from my experience, those who inflate their achievements usually don't have much to show. So I was internally hoping his true colors would soon be revealed. Then the last girl, who was running late, arrived. Sorry for being late, Maria. Thanks for coming. No rush, we've just started eating. Jake, Richard, this is Maria, our organizer from the girls' exercise.
Hi Maria, I'm Jake. You're super beautiful. It's a miracle we met. Come take a seat.
Maria seemed startled by something while greeting, but Jake, oblivious, kept talking and urged her to sit down. How can someone be so clueless? How does he even work? Please, stop. Playing hard and encouraging to get because I touched a pretty girl. That's not the point. Jake calmed down, and for some reason, Maria coldly brushed off Jake and approached me. Rare to meet someone like this.
Huh, me, yes.
Good stuff, Maria. You better not talk to the guy in work clothes like a beauty, like you should be with some high spec like me.
Excuse me, what are you even talking about? And did you just call Richard the guy in work clothes? That's unbelievable.
Come on, Maria, don't be mad. But you dealt Richard before?
Have we met before? Sorry, I don't quite remember.
You're so rude. Remembering a beautiful person like her is a miracle for a loser. Successful men remember people they've met.
Will you just be quiet? Who do you think you are? Just shut up.
Suddenly, Maria snapped. The other girls seemed to be supporting her, holding back their laughter. Tyler looked puzzled, watching me and Maria. I'm usually good at remembering faces, but where did we all be neat? I couldn't recall at all, and Maria was genuinely beautiful, so I should remember her face.
You're Richard, the CEO of Fun Group, right?
Yes, but I'm an employee at Fun Group. I've never met you, but I've always wanted to. I joined because I was fascinated by your corporate philosophy, Mr. Smith.
Can you stop it already? Richard is one of the top executives in New York, and you've been acting all high and mighty. But stop lying. You don't remember people you've met. Richard, a CEO? No way, I'm not lying. I'm a competent worker. If you can't believe me, just search it, and you're a big liar. We've met before. Jake from Cash Corporation, you never listen to others? And keep talking about yourself. You don't remember me, right? Isn't that embarrassing?
Richard, a CEO. No way, I'm not lying. I'm a competent worker. If you can't believe me, just search it. You're a big liar. We've met before. Jake from Cash Corporation. You never listen to others and keep talking about yourself. You don't remember me, right? Isn't that embarrassing?
The girls burst into laughter, unable to hold it back any longer.
A red-faced Jake frantically searched on his phone.
What his name? Stage, like in the CEO. And Fun Group is a famous company growing the fastest in Europe. Why didn't she say anything? It's just like.
I thought it'd be troublesome if someone like you found out it's risk avoidance. And about the advice you gave me earlier as a CEO, drop all of it. You'll end up with no one wanting to associate with you.
I'm really sorry for saying this in a private setting, but I love my job so much. I'm totally immersed in it. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to work at such a wonderful company. Thank you for establishing such an amazing company.
It's a bit embarrassing to hear this in front of friends, but I'm glad to hear you're enjoying your work. Just be careful not to end up like me, all work and no play. Usually I'm involved or hiring, but I might have missed your branch because of scheduling issues. Keep up the good work at the company.
Yes, thank you so much.
Hey Rashid, if you're a business owner, this will be quick. I have something to talk about. This party is over. Girls, time to leave.
Suddenly, Jake interrupted our conversation with an abrupt demand. His self-centered way of handling the conversation was causing slight irritation.
Ake, if you're going to dismiss the girls, you should at least follow through on your promise.
Promise.
You said you'd pay for the girls as an apology for my presence causing trouble, right?
The first two girls were nodding in agreement. Maria looked at Jake with a cold gaze, her stance clearly conveying a sense of Lichai is really bad news.
That was the before I knew you were a business owner. I thought I was in, I was in a higher position, so I was going to take responsibility and then pay. But now it's like, it's a different story. Come on, Richard.
Unbelievable. Such a stingy man. If I had known you were coming, I definitely wouldn't have come today.
Just because you're a bit pretty, don't get all high and mighty. If I don't remember you, it means you're just that insignificant. Don't get cocky.
Hey.
Tyler couldn't hold back and raised his voice in frustration. Is Jake really the kind of man who would say such terrible things to women just to protect his own pride? I'm so appalled I can't even find the words to respond.
Girls, don't worry about the money. I'm really sorry about today. Maria, can I contact you later to apologize?
Tyler, you did nothing wrong, and you don't need to apologize. Just make sure I never have to meet this clunker again. Mr. Smith, I apologize for showing you such an unsightly scene today. I look forward to continuing to work with you. Of course, I promise to ensure you won't have to deal with this again. Sorry again, I'll be in touch. Likewise, I'll remember your face now. Indeed, people who can work really do stand out. Excuse me.
The girls, who had hardly eaten, ended up leaving. They must have been looking forward to the day, but it all turned sour because of Jake's selfishness. Did he even realize that? Kyler, Mariah, and I exchanged sarcastic remarks about Jake, who noticed and became furious. He was clueless, never listening to others, but always quick to react to his own issues. Such an annoying man.
Richard, I'm really sorry. I know you're busy and I took absolutely don't worry, Tyler. It was worth it to see Jake's antics.
I haven't done anything embarrassing. You have all that bragging and belittling others. That's not what a winner would do.
Not listening to you and following my dreams was the best decision I ever made. As you can see, I have achieved my dreams and goals.
Let's forget the past. Actually, I need a favor.
conveniently trying to act as if his embarrassing behavior never happened. It is endlessly petty. He's audacious enough to even ask for a favor.
You know, what is it? I can pay for the meal. If you want, I can afford to help a poor countryman. So.
That's expected, right? You're rich.
That's not expected at all. Get a grip, Jake. I'll pay.
Don't get so worked up, Tyler. I'm having an important conversation, right, Richard?
Tyler, it's okay. Let's hear what Jake has to say.
My request is, could you lend me some money? Listen, my company has no eye for talents. They don't appreciate someone as capable and good-natured as me. Instead, they promote totally useless people before me. What do you think of that, Tyler? A business owner?
I don't think you need to say more, Tyler. I would never lend money to anyone except for business purposes.
Okay, come on. Can you hire me at your company? I want to quit my current job. I want to quit my current job where I appreciate it, but it's a hassle to look for a new one. If you're the boss, you can bypass all the difficult processes, right? That would be great.
No, can't hire you, Jake.
Fine not. It's start of my... We're friends, right? Tyler's a friend, but you're just an acquaintance from school. Like, why are you being so cold? Are you still mad about the past? Don't sweat the small stuff. You say, "Well, hire me, I'll apologize." Okay?
You should apologize first, Jake. Let's go, Richard. This is, going in anywhere.
Right. So long, Jake. Don't think we'll meet again. Take care.
Tyler and I left Jake, who was stubbornly clinging on. Of course, I covered the bill. The amount Jake was supposed to pay made me doubt he ever intended to cover it. If the mixer had gone as planned, he probably would have tried to get Tyler and me to pay. He must be really annoying at work.
There's no doubt a guy who constantly lies like that can't be trusted at work. Always separation. Maybe I should ask you for a job. Papa's bar.
You're always welcome, Tyler. I'll skip all the hard processes for you.
Later, I found out that Jake was considered a burden at his company due to his poor performance. Jake would be easier to manage if he accepted a less involved role at the company, but he mistakenly thinks he's competent, leading him to constantly overstep his bounds and face reprimands. Despite being the cause of his own troubles, he vents his frustrations at mixers, where he boasts to women about his supposed work competence and stature. He even complains that it's unfair for someone as capable as him to go unrecognized at his company. As someone involved in human resources, I see Jake as a textbook example of the type of person you should never hire. Following our encounter, Jake continued his old ways despite being rejected for a loan and a job by me. He spiraled into a debt-ridden life. Every time he returned to our hometown, he bragged just like at the mixers, which eventually led to everyone getting tired of him. Tyler revealing the truth about Jake only accelerated his alienation from our community, and he seldom returns home now. On the other hand, I successfully persuaded Tyler to join my company. Knowing Tyler is a person who never lies, I was confident in our built trust. After executive roles, we need people who can be trusted wholeheartedly. So I appointed him to an executive position soon after he joined. Tyler initially thought the role was too good for him, but I convinced him to accept it, assuring him of my trust. I'm currently venturing into a new business, and having Tyler as my close aide makes movements much easier. The prospect of steering new ventures is exhilarating. I'm grateful to have realized my aptitude for management at a young age and for being a person who can act decisively. While I'm thankful for the support of those around me, I'm equally proud of my initiative. I look forward to driving my company to new heights,